Somebody asked if we saw the movie Nomadland, and the answer is yes, we did, and this is what we thought about it. What's up, everybody? My name is Dan, and welcome to Freely Roaming. So the movie Nomadland just came out last week, and us being in Croatia, we actually have access to Hulu through our Spotify subscription. So we were able to watch it. What we did have to do, though, is log in through a VPN because Hulu doesn't work in Europe for us. But with our VPN, we were able to log in through a US IP address and watch Nomadland through our subscription. It is a movie that I've been hearing about for quite some time now, and I've been really looking forward to seeing it. But on the other hand, I really knew nothing about it except for the fact that it's about a single woman's journey living on the road. For those of you that don't know, we're a family of 5 and we've been traveling nomadically since 2008. And being digital nomads that we're able to work from the road, our lifestyle is very different from what's depicted in the movie. I'm going to try to not spoil any of the movie for you in this review, but I really don't think there's a whole lot that can be spoiled in the movie because a whole lot of the movie doesn't really have any surprises. It's just telling the story of a woman who's traveling on the road. First of all, I want to talk about a few things that kind of makes up the basis of Nomadland. The premise of this movie is a woman in her 60s who's lost her husband and during the 2008 financial crisis lost her job in a small town and decided to live on the road in her self-converted camper van. 2008 happens to be the same year that we started traveling as well. However, our story is different. We didn't begin to travel this way because of any financial crisis related situations. We started traveling this way because we had a child in 2007 and we wanted to take our daughter to travel and see the country. Initially, it was just going to be for a few months, maybe upwards of a year, and move back into a house after that. But one thing leads to another. Now we have 3 kids and we've been on the road for going on 13 years. Being digital nomads, meaning that I can work from the road through my computer as long as I have an internet connection, our lifestyle is much different than the ones that's depicted in the movie Nomadland. So the character Fern, played by Frances McDormand, used to work at a gypsum plant in a small company desert town of Nevada, just outside of where they hold Burning Man, as a matter of fact. What I like about the story is that it tells her aspect of the story really well. It shows the viewers why this woman decided to travel this way, all the reasons that leads up to it, and also how she makes it work for herself. It's a story that we've heard multiple times from multiple people while traveling on the road. We spent many of our winters in the Arizona desert. In the movie, one of the main scenes is Fern going to the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous, which is held at Quartzsite every year. And the story of Nomadland really talks about the people that attend the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous because it is sort of designed as a get-together, as a support system for people of a specific demographic, generally people that are older. And as somebody who's been traveling for 13 years, we've met a lot of these people that's depicted in this movie. Not any of them specifically. We haven't attended any of the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous, and we don't know Bob Wells personally, but we know of them. We've camped with several people that do go to the RTRs. We spend a lot of our winters in Arizona deserts. We go from basically one BLM land to another through the 2 or 3 months each year that we're in the Southwest. So we know what this lifestyle is about. But what's important to know that this is showing just one aspect of the nomadic life. The aspect that they're showing is using this character Fern as a vehicle. She's somebody who has limited funds. She has limited opportunities, limited ways to be able to survive on the road. So she has to rely on things like working at an Amazon fulfillment center, doing seasonal jobs at the beet harvest, and working as a camp host at campgrounds, and doing seasonal hospitality work, like in the movie where they show her working at Wall Drug in South Dakota. What I did like about the movie, though, is the aspect of them showing the traveling, driving around the country to different camp spots. One specific camp spot that was featured there is Quartzsite, which is where the Robert Trent Rendezvous is held every year. Another one that we're very familiar with is the BLM land at Buffalo Gap National Grassland, just outside of the Badlands National Park in South Dakota. It is known as the Nomad View BLM land, dispersed camping area. It is, for the most part, a fairly depressing movie. That's actually one of the aspects that I liked about it. It is not trying to glamorize and romanticize this lifestyle like a lot of social media does. Social media tends to show people all the positive aspects of camping in amazing places, and it does that in some scenes in the movie. For example, Nomad View is one of the most beautiful free campsites that we've ever been to. You can basically camp for free overlooking the Badlands. That's just as amazing as almost any place within the national park itself while not being in a national park. But on the other hand, it shows all the struggles, like not being able to stay warm when the weather is bad, how somebody goes to the bathroom, which is something that comes up time and time again when we talk to people. The other aspect that comes across really well for at least a solo traveler is the loneliness that they can feel. And all of that is really executed very well in the way that it's shot. One thing to really keep in mind, though, is that this is not a story that tells a conclusive story of this nomadic lifestyle. Just like how somebody lives in a community, there are multiple demographics within any community. There are multiple ways of life within any community. Nomadland shows just one sliver of one demographic within one community that live this nomadic lifestyle. It is drastically different from the way we live. So the bottom line is, I think Nomadland is a good movie for somebody to watch, but you really have to sort of curb your expectations. Don't go into this movie thinking that Nomadland is going to be a documentary of what life could be like for you. This is a very specific story about one woman and her experience. Although it may reflect the experiences some people have on the road, it is, once again, just one sliver of one demographic. Because I think social media glamorizes this lifestyle so much, I actually think Nomadland does a really good job of balancing out the perception that people have about this lifestyle. It's not always glamorous. You're going to be at a truck stop, you're going to be at a parking lot, and someone's going to ask you to leave. You're going to get knocks on the door, although maybe not as much as the movie seems to depict. While watching the movie, it did seem like that she got way too many knocks on the door than it actually happens in real life on the road. When we're camping at BLM land, it is pretty much an unspoken rule that you don't go knock on somebody's door. Because for somebody who lives in a van, that's sort of a very intrusive and unwanted activity to happen. Even if it is your friend knocking, it's always better to send him a text message or just talk to them through the wall instead of just a knock, knock, knock. So that seems to happen, I want to say maybe half a dozen times in the movie. And every single time it happens, it kind of jolts me to my core because that is not a sound that I like to hear. But again, it does happen from time to time, and I'm glad that they do show it. Maybe the fact that it jolts me was the intention of the director and the storyteller. While watching this movie, I didn't know what to expect, and I had mixed feelings really coming out of this movie after I finished it. But after giving it some thought, I think the director did a good job telling this woman Fern's story. And if you keep that in mind, I think you'll enjoy Nomadland as a movie as well. So there you go. That's my sort of quote-unquote nomad review of the movie Nomadland. I highly recommend you guys to go check it out, and I would love to hear your opinions about it. You can leave them in the comments below. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Thanks again for watching. See you guys in the next one.